Shout out to G-Man Boxing. Where's the piss bottle? It's over there.
Anthony Joshua, Oleksandr Usyk. Are we going to get this fight? Or are we not going to get this fight? Some interesting news I have here. It says the WBO have granted an extension for Anthony Joshua versus Oleksandr Usyk talks. Eddie Hearn has stated this on an IFL interview. He says they've made an offer that he feels, is very fair. He insists it's their intention to make that fight next, but refuse to rule out someone else if they can't do a deal. He's also said in previous interviews, just chucking this in there, that if it goes to a purse bid, they would vacate, or they're willing to vacate. Now, Eddie Hearn there is talking about a deal he's offered, which he interprets to be fair. My suspicions is that they want to fight Usyk next, but Eddie Hearn is looking to make sure all the I's are dotted and all the T's are crossed. He wants to make sure that his insurance is stocked up. So what I can imagine he's looking to do is he's looking to get a rematch clause in place for Oleksandr Usyk versus Anthony Joshua. Now, as a mandatory, Usyk is not obliged to sign a rematch clause. It's not obliged to be in the contract. One of the perks, I've said this several times, of being a mandatory challenger is that you've earned that spot, you've earned that shot. You don't need to sign a contract that states you have a rematch clause. It's very rare that happens. Tyson Fury famously did it against Klitschko, and it ended up him getting stripped of his IBF title because Vlasov was the mandatory challenger, which obviously he was not going to be able to fulfill because he had a rematch clause. Kubrat Pulev, bizarrely against Anthony Joshua, had a rematch clause, and that was with the IBF. I can't think off the top of my head of many other people who've had mandatory defences and there have been rematch clause. I really can't think off the top of my head. There's very few. It's very rare. I don't like it personally. I think that if you've earned that right, you should be able to have your fight, and all well and good. If you win, you sail off into the sunset. For a voluntary, that I do understand. At the end of the day, they haven't earned that shot necessarily. They've just, taken the fight. They've been offered the fight. They've been given it. They haven't earned it. So yes, I can understand that from that point of view. But as a mandatory, no, I don't believe you should. And I don't believe you should be obliged to either. I feel like if Team Usyk don't want to sign a rematch clause, at the end of the day, they've earned this shot. They should be perfectly within their rights to say, no, we're not signing this. We don't want this. We've earned this shot. If we win, take our belts. See you later. I believe that they're perfectly within their right to do that. So Eddie Hearn is stating that they've made what he interprets to be a fair offer. I'm sure the offer in terms of money is very good, but if Team Usyk, and Usyk as well has, he's ran his own shows. He's ran a couple of shows on his own, I believe, in Ukraine. So he knows, Usyk knows the situation. Usyk is not going to sign a contract that's going to tie him into a rematch clause. No way, because I'm sure he feels he'll win. I'm sure Eddie Hearn feels Anthony Joshua will win this fight. I'm sure he has the utmost confidence in him. But knowing that Usyk is a very good fighter, that he is dangerous, and knowing that against Andy Ruiz, he should be thanking his lucky stars that was a voluntary and not a mandatory, because if there was no rematch clause, as I said, in place for that, God knows what might have happened. So they're saying they're willing to go in the direction if a deal can't be reached. At the end of the day, it's up to Usyk. It's up to Team Usyk at the end of the day. Like, if they want to sign it with a rematch clause, I'm assuming that's what it is. It's up to them. I suspect that's the fight that Team AJ want and Eddie Hearn wants as well. But at the end of the day, you got to think about it like this. Usyk, he's earned that shot. If he doesn't want to sign a rematch, because Usyk might want to do undisputed. If he wins, let's say for argument's sake, he fights AJ, right? No rematch clause, right? Wins, takes them titles. He can make an undisputed fight with Tyson Fury. Eddie Hearn's not part of that, right? If he wins but has a rematch clause, they can run it back. God only knows what might happen. It just prolongs things. So Eddie Hearn, look, if Anthony Joshua vacates, I'm going to call it out like I see it. It's a duck. All right, I've seen a lot of people say already, and these aren't hardcore, but these are just the kind of, Anthony Joshua has two lots of fans. He has his hardcore fans, and then he has his, how would I describe them? They're hardcore fans, but they're not boxing fans. These are the people who, they wear their sunglasses indoors, they're easily offended. Those kind of people. They literally, if United are winning the league one season, they're United fans. If City are winning the league the next season, they're City fans. They're the kind of people. Anthony Joshua can do no wrong, in their mind. But they're not really, you just kind of put that to one side. They'll give AJ a pass. But I've seen a lot of people in, kind of hardcore fans, they'll say no, it's a duck. But at the end of the day, it won't really hit AJ too hard, because, as I said, the majority of his fans constitute people like that, the kind of, the guys who lift weights and then think, you know, they're boxers, those kind of guys. So, you know, it wouldn't really affect them too much in that sense. So, interesting what Eddie Hearn has had to say here. It's obviously been a big day for Eddie Hearn with the DAZN contract, which I'll touch on now in a separate video. For now, I'm going to leave you with that. Let me know your thoughts. We're going to get this fight next or not? Short and sweet. Leave it in the comment section below. #GMansRocks, all that good stuff. Like the video if you enjoyed it. I'll talk to you after. Peace.